Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I'm so excited that you all have decided to hang out with me this evening. So I've got some two really wonderful guests that are going to be on today's show, and I got some other two little guests on my on my ears right now. Look how cute they are. So cute. Um, and what else is going on? We've got the Cramdens are performing a live virtual show from Guelph at the River Run Center tonight at 8, so you should definitely tune into that. It'll be broadcast on the River Run Center Facebook page, so go there, check them out. They're awesome. Old family friend of ours. And yeah, it's free, by the way, so you can, even better. We love that. So thank you, Diane. I know they're super cute. Yeah, I'm really excited to show you guys these awesome guests that we have coming up. But I'm gonna obviously sing a couple tunes for you, and yeah, and then we'll be running along. Before I begin, I want to show everybody this. Woo! Look at that. It's kind of bright because of the ring light that I have. But yes, vinyl. We have vinyl of this now. Look how pretty. I look super tall. I'm like 5'3". But yes, look how beautiful. I'm so excited. So this is on my website. There's only a limited amount. So go check it out if you want one. They're pretty cool. And they sound great. We played it on the record player the other day, and yeah, so that's super exciting. And also, I still have merch that just got released, and oh yeah, and there's also a bunch of lyric pages in here, so you can read all the stuff that I wrote in here on the liner notes, as they are called. But yeah, so I'm going up north at the end of next week, so I guess like the 25th, and I'm going to Perry Sound, and I'm going to be recording vocals for my up-and-coming album, which I'm extremely excited for. And yeah, so we're going to be grinding out vocals. I think me and my producer, Nick Tataishi, we're going to be working on those for like 4 days straight, just straight singing, and I'm super excited, and it'll be fun. It'll be great. So that's kind of what's going on. So I'll jump into it, but here's a song that I wrote recently. It's called Simple Thing, and you can check out my songwriting process for it on Patreon if you want to become a member on there. So this is Simple Thing. So tell me who says that love is a simple thing when you're cold and alone and you need someone to hold. Saw him last night at the bar and he said, "Hey girl, you know it's a lonely world. Let me take it from here." I said, "Sorry, no thanks, I am better off on my own." You're confident, but take it slow. Hear you loud and clear. Oh, but what's gotten into me? This ain't reality, no. I'm caught not knowing what to think, baby. Let's take it slow. And tell me who says that love is a simple thing when you're cold and alone and you need something more. Darling, love will pick you up, or it stings. No, there's no in between. You can take it from me, because nothing in life comes to you for free. Take it from me. So you told me don't leave, there's so much that you've yet to see. I'm not quite sure what you mean. Now get off of your throne. His words are like honey dripping off of his tongue. I must admit it has been fun, but I've got to go. What's gotten into me? This ain't reality, no. I'm caught, not knowing what to think, baby. Let's take it slow. And tell me who says that love is a simple thing when you're cold and alone and you need something more. Darling, love will pick you up, or it stings. No, there is no in between. You can take it from me, because nothing in life comes to you for free. Take it from me, and all my precious values block the way when I want you to stay. Well, you know what just leads the way. And baby, you might just be different from the rest. I put you to the test, but my mind won't rest. It tells me who says that love is a simple thing when you're cold and alone and you need something more. Darling, love will pick you up, or it stings. No, there is no in between. You can take it from me, because nothing in life comes to you for free. I said nothing in life comes to you for free. Baby, nothing in life comes to you for free. Take it from me. That is Simple Thing, that I wrote a couple days ago. So there's a lot of things that happen in February. It's Black History Month, which I think is really important. And it's also going to be Pink Shirt Day on the 24th. And so Lisa Haynes, who is a music teacher at Glenview in Burlington, I've been doing stuff for the school for a while, and I usually would go into the school and sing for them, talk about bullying and Pink Shirt Day and why it's important to learn about it. And because I myself was bullied. But I would go in and talk to them about my experiences and whatnot. And the last time I did that was about a couple years ago at this point. But we, as a school, me and them wrote a song together. So they compiled a bunch of thoughts and comments about what bullying means to them. And I took all of those things that they wrote down and I literally put it into a song. And they loved it, and I love it. I think it turned out wonderfully, but they did most of the work. Honestly, I just added some music, but these are mostly their words. And so it's ages, I think it's like grades 1 to 6. So they had a lot of really wonderful input, and it's great to be able to kind of help them out a little bit and communicate with them. And during COVID, what I did this year is me and Mrs. Haynes, we hopped on a phone call, and I recorded a video answering a bunch of questions that they had for me, and I recorded this song and some other ones to send in just to remind them of how good the song that they wrote is. And so this song is called Taste Your Words, and I hope you like it. Afraid of who I am, always told to change, told you're better when you are not the same. Fighting off the voices that say you're not so tough, but the beauty in this chaos tells me that I am enough. Until you've walked in someone else's shoes, you have nothing but the choices that you choose. Just let me be myself today. We're different in the best ways. left shattered and discouraged. Think before you choose to speak out loud, and taste your words before you spit them out. Love will repeat, time heals graciously. No matter how strong, hate will face defeat. Until you've walked in someone else's shoes, you have nothing but the choices that you choose. Just let me be myself today. We're different in the best ways. Left shattered and discouraged. Think before you choose to speak out loud, and taste your words before you spit them out. No matter what you say, your words can't get to me. I'll be strong, wait and see. Just let me be myself today. We're different in the best ways. Left shattered and discouraged. Think before you choose to speak out loud. Taste your words. Just taste your words. Taste your words before you spit them out. So that is Taste Your Words, written by myself and all the students at Glenview. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, it was a really fun process. So with that said, we'll try not to be so down in the dumps here, but yeah, it probably was a really, really wonderful experience for them, and I'd love to do it again for sure. So our very first guest that we have on today is super wonderful. He's big in the Toronto jazz scene, and it's funny because he's currently doing a live stream at this exact moment. So what we did was we pre-recorded because I really wanted to have him on, and he happily wanted to be on as well, but the timing was just weird, so we pre-recorded it. But all of the live streams save on Facebook, so if you want to go check out his live stream after mine, then you're more than welcome to do so. But yeah, so this is Ori Dagan, and this is the interview, and I hope you like it. Hey, welcome.
Hi, nice to be here.
Yeah, nice to have you. How are things? How are you doing?
You know, I like to think of things for me right now as apocalyptically pretty good.
Good. And so for those who don't know you, do you want to maybe like give yourself a little background and whatnot?
Sure. My name is Ori Dagan, and I am a jazz singer-songwriter based here in Toronto. And I just celebrated 20 years of singing jazz.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So I've been asking a lot of people, and I always find it interesting to hear everyone's different answers. But how has COVID been for you as an artist during this time?
Well, it's certainly a challenging time. I've been doing my best to keep busy because I find just in general that helps me to keep sane. So I've had about, I think, 4 big pandemic projects that I've been working on, and they've really been blessings. The main one is I do a live stream show every week, and I've been doing that since the start of the pandemic, and it's been a very positive experience.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. It's quite
right?
uplifting. Yeah.
It's amazing, that we're able to connect with people still. I mean, obviously, it's not as much fun as playing in a club with other musicians. That's been the big one for me because
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't usually play solo, but I do
Mhm.
now.
Yes, yeah, no, I've definitely had to, like, train myself to become a little one-man band.
Yeah,
Um, so, I was watching this video, about you talking about the new album, which we will get to in a few minutes, but,
great.
you didn't start out in jazz, you started as a classical pianist, and,
That's true.
what really made you wanna be into jazz and be a vocalist at that?
Well, so I grew up playing classical piano
Mhm.
from age 6 to 16, and I was always kind of into it, but not passionate about it. So I would kind of just coast by. I didn't do a lot of practicing. I kind of enjoyed my lessons. And then every year at the exam, I would just kind of freak out. And then when I was 16, I just said, I can't do this anymore. This is not my thing. And then, so the thing that got me into jazz was Ella Fitzgerald.
Of course.
She's known as the gateway drug to jazz.
I believe
Um,
that
yeah.
100%.
So the album that did it for me is called Mac the Knife Live in Berlin. And I kind of just got it. It was on sale at Chapters, and it just completely changed my life. There's something that happens in that album where Ella forgets the lyrics to the title track, Mac the Knife, and she just makes them up as she goes along. And that just kind of blew my mind. And there's the song that's the encore is How High the Moon, which is like
Mm.
a 7-minute scat solo. And that's how I got into jazz, is that album. The other one that did it for me is I got it the same week, is called Dinah Jams. And
Mm.
it's a live jam session featuring Dinah Washington with Clifford Brown and Harold Land and Maynard Ferguson and Wynton
Yeah,
Kelly and all these people.
amazing. So it's obviously a passion of yours at this point, and you do it incredibly well. And so you have, I wanna say 4 albums out?
3 out, and I'm now working on my 4th.
Right, 1 on the way. So I was looking through, all of your wow, I'll get it eventually, discography, and, I saw that there's a Nat King Cole tribute, and, that's
Yes.
really beautiful. What made you wanna do that?
So that was the last album I made, and it came out in 2017. And funny thing is, I didn't really get Nat King Cole for a very long time.
Mm,
The artists that inspired me in jazz for the longest time after Ella were Anita O'Day, Sarah Vaughan, and in terms of instrumentalists, my favorite is Lester Young,
yeah,
Charlie Parker, Miles Davis. I've really been into I guess wild improvisation. That's what
okay.
really gets me. So Nat King Cole went right over my head for a long time because when I heard Nat King Cole, I thought, wow, he has such a beautiful voice. But it was
Yeah,
almost like it just kind of bored me or something.
right.
And my collaborator, Nathan Hiltz, who is an exceptional guitar
Yeah.
player, composer, and educator here in Toronto, one time he said to me, hey, have you ever heard the early Nat King Cole stuff? And I said, I have, but I haven't really checked it out. And he's like, listen to this stuff. And I, at that point, noticed what a genius piano player Nat King Cole was. And I
Yeah,
just never really listened to him like that before. So the more I found out about Nat, the more I realized how I wanted to pay tribute to him in a way that was different. So it really was because I don't know, I have to say, tribute albums for me, I never wanted to make one until that point. I just thought, yeah, I've heard people do that in jazz where they kind of just copy the person. And
mhm,
I think that today, in today's world, we have YouTube. You know what I mean? Like, why would anyone listen to me singing Nat King Cole the way Nat King Cole sang? You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
They could just go and hear Nat King Cole. So on that album, what I tried to do is I did record some of his classic songs, but I did them in a completely different way, like Nature Boy, which we made into a samba, Unforgettable, which we did as a bebop. And I got to do a duet with my favorite musician in the world, Sheila Jordan,
Oh, yeah.
who just turned 92 recently. She was 87 at the time when we did that. And I've been following Sheila around the world for many years. So that was one of the highlights of my life, is being in the studio with Sheila Jordan.
That's
And I guess the
amazing.
other thing that made that recording different is we released it as a visual album, the first visual album in jazz. It was insane, and I couldn't have done it without my amazing team of supporters. I raised money on that through crowdfunding, so it was
Nice.
quite an experience.
That's amazing. So with this album, this new one on the way, all originals, which is amazing.
It's really amazing. It's the first time I ever got a Factor grant. For those who don't know, Factor is the foundation assisting Canadian talent on recordings. So I put out this grant, and I just said I want to do an album of all originals, one cover, all originals, and it was going to be something completely different than what it turned out to be because pandemic. So I got the grant notice on January 2020, and it was going to be kind of like an album in tribute to my jazz heroes and heroines who inspired me. And some of that is still in there, but I decided to make it an album that was very much about our current world. And so a lot of it has to do with technology, social media. There's a song about online dating. There's a song about viruses. So I really wanted to kind of capture lyrics that were contemporary and meaningful to today, while using the sounds of kind of a jazz big band. And I had the amazing Nathan Hiltz arranging 9 of the songs, and the 2 bonus tracks were arranged by the great Rebecca Hennessy.
Amazing. Well, I'm really curious as to what you're going to perform for us today. And then after that, I want to chat with you a little bit more about a few more things, and then I'll let you go. But I'd love to hear what you have.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
I'm going to do a tune that I'm going to be playing at my live stream show this week, which is a tribute to Carmen McRae and Betty Carter. This song originally was recorded by Billie Holiday, and I'm such a jazz nerd that I know it was recorded on July 2nd, 1935. That's when Billie debuted it. It was actually her very first recording session, and it was a huge, huge hit for Columbia Records. And it's called Miss Brown to You. Cute little song.
Go for it.
All right. Well, now who do you think is coming to town? You'll never guess who. Lovable little Miss Emily Brown, Miss Brown to you. Well, what if the rain comes fluttering down? My heaven is blue, Tennessee's sending me Emily Brown, Miss Brown to you. Well, now I know her eyes are gonna thrill ya. Well, go slow, don't you all get too familiar. Why do you think she's coming to town? Just wait and you'll see. Oh, that lovable little Miss Emily Brown, she's a baby to me. I know, her eyes are gonna thrill ya. Well, go slow, don't you all get too familiar. Well, now, why do you think she's going to town? Oh, just wait and you'll see, yeah. Lovable little Miss Emily Brown, she's a baby to me. Miss Brown to you.
Oh my goodness, so wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
So before I let you go, I did have one more question, just about songwriting and like kind of what that means to you and your process of going about doing so.
Well, I have to say, it's certainly something that has been more challenging for me than singing. I guess because I haven't been working on it quite as long. I started to songwrite when I made my first album, which is called Scat Got My Tongue. That came out in 2009. So that was one of the first songs I wrote, is the title for that album. And I think the hardest thing for me about songwriting is that I'm kind of very aware of cliches all the time,
Yeah.
and I don't want to repeat them. So I think it's okay to do that as long as it's very deliberate and kind of has its own place. So songs sometimes can take me a long time, and I think the secret to good songwriting is writing many drafts. So for this record, usually my average was 5 to 10 drafts of a song, and one song took 30 drafts, and it was driving me crazy. But like anything we do, the more we do it, the more comfortable and the more fun we have. So I have to say, coming out of the process of songwriting for this new album, which is called Click Right Here, I feel a lot better about it, and I can't wait to do more of it. It's really an amazing thing, because as a performer, I do love singing covers and standards and finding ways to make them my own and improvising. But there's something about performing something that you wrote that is a completely different and deeper thing. And it's really a privilege to be able to be a singer-songwriter.
Absolutely, I agree. So before I let you go, where can people find you? All of your, Twitter, Instagram. I know it's scrolling down there, but tell people just.
So it's all my handles are Ori Dagan Jazz, and I'm most often on Facebook and Instagram, and my videos are on YouTube. Sometimes I tweet. I'm trying to be a better tweeter too. My live stream show happens at a familiar time, Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. So this is truly magical that I'm here. But, in case you miss me here, you can, I keep them up, so you can tune in anytime. And it's a lot of fun. And thank you so much for having me, and congrats on this amazing show. It's so much fun to watch and to, keep people entertained and keep people informed and keep everyone connected. So congrats to you. You're doing awesome stuff.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day. And all the best with the up and coming new album. I can't wait to listen to it.
And tell me, when's your next record coming out?
Well, I've been doing a whole bunch of writing, and I'm actually going into the studio next week to record a bunch of vocals. So it should be coming out, I want to say, late spring.
Break a leg. That's so exciting.
Thank you. Yes.
Are they originals or covers?
All original. So.
Oh my God. I can't wait to hear it, Avery. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, and stay safe.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye. So that was Ori Dagan, so wonderful, and I'm glad that we were able to kind of accommodate for both of our busy schedules with the same idea to go live on Saturdays at 4. But he's super awesome, so go check out everything that he's doing. So I'm gonna do one song before I bring on my next guest, and this song might be like a little hint towards who it is. Maybe it's not, but it kind of is. First, I just want to promote Patreon a little bit. If you don't know what it is, go check it out. It's basically like $5 a month, so the price of a Starbucks coffee, and you get little exclusive things. So I did like a holiday concert. I do all these writing sessions with myself, yeah, like I'll include lyric sheets, I'll include unreleased songs, maybe like things that I'm working on. So things that not everybody gets to see, but definitely go check that out. But anyways, with that said, here is a song before I bring on my next guest, and it's definitely related to the next guest, so it's kind of exciting. But yeah, hopefully I do this song justice. He's been around it for a while, so... He come on flat top, he come grooving up slowly. He got juju eyeball, he won holy roller. He got hair down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just do what he please. He wear no shoe shine, he got toe jam football. He got funky finger. He shoot Coca-Cola. He said, I know you, you know me. One thing I can tell you is you've got to be free. Come together right now over me. He begged production. He got Warren's gumboot. He got on a sideboard. He won spinal cracker. He got feet down below his knees. Hold you in his armchair. You can feel his disease. Come together right now over me. He roller coaster. He got early warning. He got muddy water. He won mojo filter. He said 1 and 1 and 1 is 3. Got to be good looking, 'cause he's so hard to see. Come together right now over me. Come together right now over me. Thank you. Obviously, everybody knew what that song was. Come on now. But not exactly, but still, so I'll introduce him right now. So he's this fabulous saxophone player, and I first met him a couple of years ago. I was performing in London at Beatles Fest, and we were introduced by a common friend, Rob Reed, who's super awesome. And so this person joined me on stage for a couple tunes. And yes, it was Beatles Fest, London, Ontario. Let me make that clear. And at intermission at the show, we were talking a little bit, and the stories this man has, oh my goodness. From the Beatles to the Rolling Stones to Eric Clapton to so many more. So I'm so excited. I want to hear all of his stories. So with that said, here's Gerry Stewart. Hello. Oh, is it frozen? It might be frozen. Oh,
can you hear me?
I can. Yes, yes, I can.
Okay, you were breaking up actually.
Oh, really? I'm not sure why. Well, hopefully it's not too bad.
No.
Oh, it's a little rickety.
So can you hear me? Yeah.
I can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So how are you? How are things?
Well, I'm well. Things are good. Same as everybody. Every day's a Sunday. Hopefully, this will see the end of this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So I wanted to. I want to hear all of your stories. And I'm sure these people do too. But I just want to kind of ask you to start out this whole thing, how you got started, like why saxophone, why music in general? What was it?
Why saxophone? Yeah. Well, I guess it started off with Elvis Presley and Bill Haley and Eddie, all my buddies. They all bought guitars. So there was about 10 of us, people playing guitars. And myself, I said, well, how are we ever going to get a job if everybody's playing a guitar? So I was quite impressed by the solo on Rock Around the Clock. And it sounded pretty easy. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. So that was the main solo in that. And so I thought I could do that. I'm still trying to get it right. So I picked up the saxophone, and I'm still playing it. And all of the players faded away, and they never really done anything with the music. But everybody liked the tight pants, the leather, and the guitar.
Yes.
And I guess they still do.
Yes, they do. So you've worked with some incredible artists. So I kind of do you want to tell people a little bit about your background? I guess like with the Black Cats and your relationship with the Beatles and even Ringo Starr. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, it sounds amazing, like they're so famous and have achieved so much. So when I think of them, I just think of like the boys in the pub. We were all 18 and 19 and telling stories to each other and no big ambitions. You were just playing music. And in fact, later on, we in the club we used to go to after the cabin, it was called the Blue Angel. And there was a big sign the boys had put up in the men's washroom. It says, you're getting on 30, it's time to pick up your pension. Everybody was worried what they were going to do. If you were 80 years old, you was past everything. And it was like ridiculous playing the guitar and doing rock and roll songs when you were an old man of 30. So at that time, if you like, 1957, 58, 59, it's all in the history books. There was virtually no womas. All of age were black. If you look at Louis Armstrong and all the jazz people, in the main, they were black performers. And we could not see a white performer of 40 years old or 50 on stage. So that's how long ago that was our perception. And it just carried on and carried on. We got older and got older. But with the Beatles was just one of those marvelous things that might never happen again when you have two people, mainly two with Lennon, working off each other and inspiring each other. And you were talking before with Ori about songwriting. And in the main, throughout history, the main people have been Rodgers and Hart and all these duos of songwriting. And I don't know if some of them, Aniston, one was the lyricist or they swapped around. But, and it was the same with the Beatles. John and Paul were writing off each other. So they carried on that tradition. But then the question becomes who wrote the lyric and who wrote the music. And that was well defined for Rodgers and Hart and Rodgers and Hammerstein, people like that. But with John and Paul, they used to, some of the songs like a one-off, like McCartney wrote like Yesterday. That was his, the melody and the lyrics. And the same with John. But other times they would write us together because one was stuck and the other would supply the needed chord to change the song or the lyric. And that was a wonderful relation that happened like that. And so that's part of songwriting. And Ori was talking about sometimes he does 12 drafts of a song. Well, I believe a poem is finished. You write a poem, you write a lyric, and you come back 6 months later, a year later, years later, and you say, did I write that? Could I be so pure? And you take that word out and change it. What was I thinking? I can't believe it. And that, I think, because you get older, maybe your viewpoint, that
Yeah.
the way you look at the poem changes, or the lyric, unless you're writing like pop lyrics, which you hope will be around to make a scan and then fade into history. You know?
Yeah. So in my note, I have a whole bunch of notes here. But is it so? Did the Beatles open up for you, or was like for your band, or was it the other way around, or was it the Rolling Stones? Because we have a whole bunch of pictures and a video to show too. But yeah, so
Oh,
I just wanted to ask.
well, we played. I think it was only about 11 at this club. I think the Beatles played their breakfast gigs, and like they used to have 3 or 4 bands at this club, the Cavern Club, every night, and a lunch hour. And the Beatles played every lunch, and I guess they didn't go home because they lived about 5 or 6 miles away. You just go back to the pub and have a few pints and be ready for the evening set. They must have played, I don't know how many times, but we only played, as I say, 10 or 11 because of the money. You're going to have 5 or 6 bands on, and there's not enough money to share around. So we used to go play anywhere but having. I guess the Beatles didn't mind not getting paid very much, but they were hot. And yes, sometimes they opened for us, and but it wasn't today. It was these bands we were all just buddies, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes people in different bands changing around. We started off, I think there was about 5 bands in Liverpool. We started off at a jazz club. And because our band leader thought we were a jazz band because we had a saxophone.
Yes.
And then when the club owner, Ray McFauld, with the Cavern was up, then he fired us. He says, "There's no way in hell that you're a jazz band." And we went. We were playing Freddie Cannon, rock and roll, and I think Duane Eddy maybe. So we didn't go back for a while. But meanwhile, so many bands came along in Liverpool. Ended up maybe 200 bands. It was just I was going to say a nightmare, but I was thinking that, you know, people happened to try and get them. And at that time, I also got impressed with the music with the big bands and the great saxophone players that played with. And the saxophone player would always stand up in front of the huge orchestra, which Count Basie, Duke Ellington, and have a wailing saxophone. And I thought, that's for me. So I went into the big bands, and I did around England every summer and picked up the winter jobs. And then I would always come back to Liverpool, and then I would be joining other ups. And I say on the screen, yeah, I left the Black Cats, and years later went with the Master Sounds, and we were quite a big rhythm and blues band. A lot of money was spent on it, and we trundled off to Germany, and you always hone your skills there because it was a 5-hour, 6-hour job a night. The music went all night in Hamburg, and the same thing happened to the Stones. That's where they got their chops, by playing that many hours every night. You're working 6 nights. And beat into this top 10 club. And I think there was 2 bands after the Beatles, and then we came in. And I don't think they changed the sheets in the hotel. We stayed above this nightclub, which was an old cinema. And about a month ago, I was reading John's biography. Didn't know he'd played this club, and he was complaining in the book of sheets. that were never washed. I was complaining about the bed bugs because when we went upstairs, he took us up. He said, "You have that bed." I said, "Oh yeah." He said, "You like that bed?" Paul McCartney slept in that bed, and I thought, "Oh, okay." And when I was bitten with the bed bugs, I thought, "I wonder if that one bit Paul. Oh, is this the son of the one that bit?" So
Oh, that's so wonderful.
but in Hamburg, this is the Master Sounds, the good-looking the guy at the back with the glasses, Buddy Holly glasses. That's me. Very expensive
That's you.
glasses. No, they're back in fashion, I think.
I think so.
Yeah. Say on. I've stopped talking.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's a little glitchy, but no, like that's just so incredible. So, I think it's so funny on that poster that we saw, how it says with special guest Rolling Stones. I think it's awesome how the Master Sounds was the main band, and then it says with special guest the Rolling Stones at the bottom.
Well, we were rhythm and blues was not as popular as pop music. The Beatles were playing like rock and roll, and pop music, and there's a few other bands playing rhythm and blues, and that's was this band's inspiration. And when we got back from Gerry, but the band broke up because you're working 5 hours, you got short tempers, drinking like anything. Fish fight that didn't deprive another month in Hamburg. Back to Liverpool and played with Jerry Lewis, who was an unbelievable entertainer. Never saw anything before or anything since with Jerry Lee Lewis. And I'd never seen so many girls faint onto the stage. The girls were like, they were 6 feet high screaming. They had the ambulances there. And next to nothing, there was more St. John's ambulance people around the stage. All the girls were fainting. So that was a great show. We come back to Liverpool and then we played with the Stones. And there was a few experiences with the Stones, which I don't think I'll bother relating at the minute. But we went back to this Blue Wayne Club and we made up our differences. And we were playing roughly the same music as the Stones. And so that was quite interesting because they were rhythm basically still sticking along that path, while the Beatles had modified and become like a pop band. But those pop tunes are unbelievable, aren't they? Yesterday.
Yes.
And even George Harrison come out with some wonderful songs, and probably would have done more wonderful songs if the boys would let him in on the act. Yeah.
So we have a video that we're going to show because you still play, and you still play wonderfully. Do you want to talk a little bit about the video before we show it?
It depends what I'm playing. I think you had a couple of videos, but a lot of the time, the last number of years, I've been working with a trio, and also as a solo act with backup tips. So
I think we're showing the one for Hazel for the birthday. That was like super recently.
Oh yeah. Then used to also play some old people's residence, and that song is "Time Goes By," is a song sung by Vera Lynn. You might not know her because she was big in the Second World War and the #1 pop person, and she had a record out. I think it was 2 years ago. And she was #1 on the hit parade. And she's 100 years old. She's 103. And she's a very strong voice for that. And the song was As Time Goes By. And so I thought if with Hazel, she's 100 too, it was appropriate. And she used to like me playing these old songs because
Yes.
there's not many people know them anymore.
Yes. Well, we're going to listen to that right now, and then I'll be back to chat a little bit more. So if we can pull that video up. There we go. So awesome. It's so wonderful. I love the saxophone, so it's always so wonderful to watch people play. Also, just because I'm a huge jazz fan in general. So, um, well, thank you so much, Gerry, for coming on, and we're gonna have to have you on again to tell some more stories because I know that you have so many more things to say. And so, yes, the website is right there. That is your website, saxappeal.com. I love that. So thank you so much for taking the time today to come and chat with me and tell all of us some of your cool stories. So thank you.
Okay, as they say in the TV, thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. We'll talk soon. So that was Gerry Stewart. That's his website right there. And he has so many cool stories. And so we'll definitely have him back to talk a little bit about some other things that he's done because I know he's so much more to talk about. With that said, I'm gonna do more songs. And mic problem? Really? Are we okay? Check. Okay, cool. I just had to wiggle it a little bit. I don't know. Okay. So, yeah, so I'm gonna do a couple more songs. No, it's not okay. I'm getting mixed signals, you guys. No, it's fine. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna pull this thing out. It's so massive. Okay. This is a song by this girl. I think her name's Benny. I think that's how you say it. I'm not too sure, actually. That's what we're gonna go with for today. And this song, like the first time I heard this song was like back in March, so it really just reminds me of the beginning of quarantine. But that's okay because it's a good song, so it's fun. I'm gonna be doing it a little different than the original, but it's still cool and it's a really good song. It's called Super Lonely. I know I messed up, I'm just a loser, shouldn't be with ya. Guess I'm a quitter while you're out there drinking. I'm just here thinking about where I should have been. I've been lonely, ooh, yeah. Water pouring down from the ceiling. I knew this would happen, still had to believe it. Maybe I'm dramatic, I don't wanna seem it, I don't wanna panic. I'm a sad girl in this big world, it's a mad world. All of my friends know it's happening, you're a bad thing. I know I messed up, I'm just a loser, shouldn't be with ya. Guess I'm a quitter while you're out there drinking. I'm just here thinking about where I should have been. I've been lonely, ooh, yeah. La 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 la, la la la, lonely. Lonely, yeah. Now I'm in the bathtub crying. Think I'm slowly sinking. Bubbles in my eyes now. Maybe I'm just dreaming. Don't want it in the sad club. Just trying to get a back rub. I'm a sad girl in this big world. It's a mad world. All of my friends know it's happening, you're a bad thing. I know I messed up, I'm just a loser, shouldn't be with ya. Guess I'm a quitter while you're out there drinking. I'm just here thinking about where I should have been. I've been lonely, ooh, yeah. La 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 la, lonely. La 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 la, yeah, I've been lonely by the way, yeah. Super lonely. You know I've been so lonely by the way. That was Super Lonely, and it's by Benny. Just like thought I would learn it. It's a cute song, fun to play. And I think I'm gonna do one more song, and I'll see you all on March 6th. Yeah, what should I do? Okay, so I just did a little gig, if you'll call it that, a virtual one. For the tennis club in Toronto, and it was a private gig. And because I usually would perform like on their patio or inside for certain dinner events, and I don't get to this time. So they had a catered dinner, which was so cool, and I got to sing for them over Zoom, and it was pretty successful, and that was a lot of fun. But this is one of the songs that I did at that little gig, and and it's Carole King. It's close to the time where it's, I think, the 50th anniversary of Tapestry, which is so awesome, and it's one of my favorite albums and one of everybody's favorite albums, I think. It must be in the top of the list. But this will just go to show how much my music has been influenced by her, and you'll see why, because I'm gonna do a little mashup. But yes. I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down. I feel the heart start to tremble whenever you're around. Ooh, baby, when I see your face, mellow as the month of May. Ooh, darling, I can't stand it. Whenever you look my way, I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down. Like my phone is tumbling down. My goodness. Tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble whenever you're around. Ooh, darling, when you're near me and tenderly call my name, I know that my emotions are something I just can't tame. I got to have you, babe. I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble whenever you're around. You tell me you want me, but what can I do? You tell me you need me, do I need you too? You tell me you think of me day and night through. You tell me you love me, but this much is true. I tell you I'm not sure until you give me time to decide if I want more. Leave on light, 'cause I just need some space. My mind keeps on racing every day. And please respect my needs. I just need some time to finally think what you are to me, what you are to me, what you are to me, what you are to me. I need the stress that you're putting me through, but for your happiness I will always stay true. Everything that I'm doing is mostly for you. Gotta think about me and what I need to do. Here I am unsure, I still need more time to decide if I want more. Leave on light, 'cause I just need some space. My mind keeps on racing every day. And please respect my needs. I just need some time to finally think what you are to me, what you are to me. 'Cause I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble whenever you're around. Ooh, darling, when you're near me and tenderly call my name, I know that my emotions are something I just can't take. I've got to have you, babe. I feel the earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down. I feel my heart start to tremble whenever you're around. Earth move under my feet. I feel the sky tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down, tumbling down. Thank you so much. Michael, maybe someday I can. Thank you, everybody. And yes, Lisa, of course, I'd be happy to do anything for them anytime. So thank you so much to all my wonderful guests, Gerry and Ori. And stay tuned for March 6th for the next show. Good night, everybody, and thank you so much.